Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your right pre-marriage counseling session. Welcome, Pal and Mary Grace. Today, the 9th day of December, the year of our Lord 2023, sorry. And our focus is the strengthening the foundation of this nation, which is called the family. So you are now creating a family, and your foundation must be very strong enough to stand the test of times. Okay? So we will discuss three topics in our session today as required by the government. First, the pre-marriage orientation, which is the technical side of the marriage here in the Philippines, the wedding documents, the legal side of it. And second is the pre-marriage counseling, the meaning
Yeah.
of marriage, yeah, the meaning of
Yes.
marriage according to our law, and the principles attached to it. When we say principles, these are the guidelines that we have no say. These are the guidelines that we cannot give conditions, but we will just follow. We will just comply. We cannot make this conditional before we apply it or comply with it. That's why it is called principles, which means first. First law. Principles are first law. It is there even before we were born, even before this earth was created, even before the different institutions were created, like the government, the state, or the Congress, the lawmaking body. This is the first law. And this has been acknowledged also by several philosophers from the beginning, like Buddha, nature, that we cannot control, according to
Yes.
Buddha. Yeah, these are principles. Why it is called principles? Because it is first law. No, from the word prince, which means first in line to the throne. No, from the kingdom concept of government, they have prince and princesses. They are called prince and princesses because they are first in line to the throne. So combined with the word false in the Greek word principles, it becomes fundamental, tenet, law, doctrine, etc., which we cannot give our conditions. Our obligation is just to comply. So the moment we learn about principles, there are also benefits attached to it. So when we comply, we will enjoy the benefits attached to the principles. Okay. And the third part is the rights and obligations process, and which we otherwise call as the laws on marriage, the specific
Yes.
rights and obligations of each other, which under our family code historically was adopted from the US law. No, we were colonized by the American government before, so most of our laws are defined by the Americans. Okay? And I
Yeah.
hope you are familiar with that, Brother Pal. And so I am the managing director and founder of BCIDP Law Group. Our advocacy is to build stronger marriage foundation and happier families, productive individuals, and profitable businesses in the Philippines for the next generation. So these are our field of expertise. It tells about marriage, it tells about family, it tells about individual and businesses. So we have several academic support for all of this. So this is your speaker. I am Dr. Angelo E. Basse. I hold a doctorate degree in philosophy, major in theology, and MBA in Philippine Christian University, and also in Ateneo de Manila Graduate School of Business, where I learned three various fields of expertise, like the corporate governance, business management, and the training needs analysis. And also at De La Salle, I got postgraduate courses in terms of in the field of human capital, realty, and events management. I got two bachelor degrees, AP psychology and political science from two different universities. I love studying, so I want to know the answers to every questions in life. So I don't want to be ignorant. I cannot afford to be ignorant in this very challenging world, right, Brother Pal? And paralegal studies also related to law, the basic principles of the law, and also theology since my childhood. And I'm a retired religious leader from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which are called the Mormons. So I've I've been retired since 2004, and now I'm from the Catholic. I'm an ordained priest from the Orthodox Catholic Church. Okay, I'm a
Mm.
paralegal practitioner from 1990 to present. So I had been in the actual practice of marriage and family law enforcement and or application for over 30 years, working with reputable senior lawyers of the following firms: Organizato Tan and LSR law offices and the Nogales law offices. Now I have my own law office, which is called the BCIDP law offices as part of the BCIDP law group. Now lawyers are working for me. Before I'm working for the lawyers. Now lawyers are working for me, for my law firm. I authored a book which was just released last January about relationship. Okay, this is about how to separate if there is no more. If you have, if you did all you can to preserve the marriage, this will be your guide. Or you want to preserve the marriage, this is also your guide. Okay, that's my book written in Tagalog, so it can reach many Filipinos who are mostly ignorant. No, this country does not have a culture of reading. That's why we have many ignorant people in this country. So I cannot afford to be ignorant. So I've been reading a lot of books. I've been studying a lot of topics for my growth, for our businesses, and it has to be the right information. Okay, and this book was attested or had the foreword of one law professor. As you can see in the other beside me, he is a law professor at the University of the Philippines in Diliman, Quezon City, top one law school here in the Philippines. And my compadre, a law practitioner also, a law expert for so many years, he has his foreword in my book. And according to one lawyer also, practicing lawyer here in the Philippines, he only knew two paralegals, successful paralegals in the country. Me and the son of the other law expert, Attorney Jose Sison. Okay? So, dalawa lang daw. Just this guy and the other guy in the book who are the two successful paralegals in the country according to this another law expert. So I am flattered with that sharing that he made during his online session to paralegal students in his online session last May. Okay, so let me share with you the technicalities of the marriage in the Philippines, which will be as follows. Okay, so this is the marriage law, what
Yes.
to do and how to fill up your marriage papers later on. So I'll go to that slide with the beginning of family code. The family code describes the marriage as special contract like this in Article 1 of permanent union between a man and a woman entered into in accordance with law for the establishment of conjugal and family life. It is the foundation of the family. What is the foundation of the family? The marriage. And an inviolable social institution whose nature, consequences, and incidents are governed by law and not subject to stipulation. When we say not subject to stipulations, it means not subject to our terms and conditions. We cannot dictate our own terms and conditions in the marriage. We cannot also dictate how or what we believe about marriage. It is already the law that will dictate the nature of the marriage itself, the consequences, and the incidents inside the marriage are already governed by law and not subject to our own belief about what marriage is. Except the law gave you an option that you can only set your terms, which is about your property. except that marriage settlements may fix the property relations during the marriage within the limits provided by this code. What is this all about? If you are, if you have an asset which is the fruits of your labor, are you bringing that to the marriage? Are you bringing that to the institution to help the funding of the institution? And on the other hand, if Mary Grace has inherited a lot of properties which are fruitful, earning money, will you bring that to the institution, Mary Grace? So that is the portion only where the law tells you to decide on your own. Are you bringing your assets together to the marriage to fund the institution, or it will remain yours because it is exclusively yours and you don't want the profits of that asset to be used to fund the needs of the institution? So you have to talk about that because the institution that you are building needs funding. So where do you get the funds to help that institution grow and nurture by supplying the needs? Where do you get the funds? From your employment or from your business that you conceptualize together? And your assets before the marriage remain exclusively yours. So in that case, if you are not bringing your assets to the marriage, you will have to execute a document called prenuptial agreement. So this is very common to any nation, and I'm sure Brother Paul knows this. The prenuptial agreement will will tell everybody, will tell all the affected persons in your marriage that your exclusive properties does not have anything to do with your marriage. Okay? So
Yes.
in case of civil or damage suit being charged against a couple, the exclusive properties will not be affected by the enforcement of the court, of the levy, or whatever the sheriff will be implementing to collect from you. Okay? So if you enter an obligation, only your joint efforts will be run after by the government and not your exclusive properties. So I hope I explained this well, brother Pal. And any questions so far?
Yes.
Sounds good. Sounds good to you. Okay. In a marriage, the government says there must be a male and a female. We have no law that allows the same-sex marriage. The Supreme Court has already stated that in a marriage contract, there are three parties. This is the laws of the man or the human law. They say the three parties are the woman, and the state. But if you ask the one who created the marriage, the one who authored the marriage, who is God, the marriage only concerns two parties. And who are those people? God Himself and the both of you. So whatever promises you make to each other, you are actually making promise to your Creator as your owner. Okay? So whatever you promise to each other, whatever vow you make to each other, you are actually making vows to your owner, to your Creator. Okay? So this is entirely different from what the Bible says. And considering that the state provides for the duties, privileges, and restrictions which are deemed written into every marriage contract, it does not actually written in our marriage contract. It is written in the book, in the family code. You can find it in Article 68, your rights and obligations to each other. So we will discuss that later on. Unlike ordinary contracts, which may be terminated or rescinded by the parties upon mutual agreement, remember that marriage is a special contract. where we cannot impose our terms and conditions. In the ordinary contract, it can be terminated or rescinded by the parties upon mutual agreement. So you can decide to terminate the contract. But this is only pertains to the ordinary contract, not the marriage. The marital bonds can only be severed by death or upon a court declaration of nullity or marriage. That's the difference between the special contract and the ordinary contract. Now, the requisites of marriage under Article 2, it says that no marriage shall be valid unless these essential requisites are present. Number one, legal capacity of the parties, who must be male and female. And second, consent freely given in the presence of the solemnizing officer. So your marriage will only be valid unless if these two items mentioned here are present. Okay? The consent was freely given, which means you are not forced to enter into this marriage. Nobody forced you. You are not under duress. You are not also, Brother Paul, there is no gun being pointed at you in this marriage. Okay? You are you are deciding freely from your heart without anyone dictating to you. Okay? So that is called free consent. What else? These are essential requisites. The other side are formal requisites in Article 3. The formal requisites are authority of the solemnizing. Number 2, a valid marriage license. This seminar that we are doing now is a requirement of this marriage license. Okay? And a marriage ceremony. This is the third requirement or formal requirement, which is called the ceremony. This is where you invoke your love to each other and you declare in the front of the solemnizing officer that you take each other as husband and wife in the presence of not less than 2 witnesses. Okay? Ceremony is really a requisite under our Philippine law. What else? I will not dwell on this. This does not apply to you. Just for you to know that the law accepts parties who are 18 and above and does not have any legal impediment. Now, rule on the marriage ceremony. Under Article 6, it says, no prescribed form of religious rite for the solemnization of the marriage is required. So whatever kind of ceremony or traditional rites that you want to do in your marriage, the government has nothing to do with it. They do not dictate the form of ceremony for any marriage in the Philippines. But they are just concerned of your personal appearance. So we don't tolerate online marriage yet because there is no law that tolerates online marriage. So the personal appearance is really necessary here in Philippine wedding setup. And the persons who can solemnize marriage are the judges, the justices. Second, the priests and the imams or the minister of any church or religious sect duly endorsed by his church to the government. There is an endorsement required before the government can consider that person to give him the right to solemnize marriages in the Philippines. And there is a condition there that one of the parties, one of you, should at least believe in the same belief that the minister is connected to or connected with. Okay? At least the same belief. But again, the law says, the Philippine family law says, all doubts are resolved in favor of the marriage. So there should be no issue or debate if you are not a member of the religion of the minister or not. These are not these do not apply to you anymore. So I will just skip this. Now let's go on to the license of the ministers. The license of the ministers has the duration or territorial jurisdiction that he can solemnize marriage. You can see here below the scope of area where he can solemnize marriage. This one tells us that he is authorized to solemnize in the entire Philippines. This is called CRASM. CRASM. CRASM from Philippine Statistics Authority, the agency in the Philippines that process and provides this kind of authority to the ministers. The judges and the justices does not have to be issued with this one. Their position is automatically they are already automatically authorized by law to solemnize marriage. While in this agency, they have to process, they have to check the qualification of the person and the endorsement of the supervising religious leaders of the person before they can give authority for him to solemnize marriage. Now, Article 8, the rule on marriage, it should be solemnized publicly in the chambers of the judge or in open court, in the church, chapel, or temple, or in the office of the consul general, consul or vice consul, as the case may be, and not elsewhere, except in cases of marriages contracted at the point of death or in remote places as per Article 39 of this code. Or this is where your option will come, where both of the parties request the solemnizing officer in writing, in which case the marriage may be solemnized at a house or place designated by them in a sworn statement to that effect like this. You are requesting the solemnizing officer to do your marriage at a certain date and time and place, and you will have to notarize this because it has to be sworn to by both of you that you are doing it, your marriage, outside the prescribed venue of the law. Okay? And the venue itself will issue a certificate like this, that there was a wedding really transpired in their location with the names of this and that. So the manager of the venue will sign below as proof that you had this wedding outdoors. And the rule where to register the marriage, it is where the marriage was solemnized. If you got married in Tagaytay, the marriage should be registered in Tagaytay City Hall. And we only have 15 days to do it. 15 days from the time of the date of wedding you declared in paper. So this is the form that you need to fill out when you approach your City Hall to apply for marriage license. Mary Grace, saan ka nakatira? Taguig pala, no? So, sa Taguig City Hall kayo mag-a-apply.
Po, sa Taguig po.
Oo, Taguig. So, you will fill this out and submit it together with your SENOMA, your birth certificate, and the certificate from us in attending this session. For Brother Paul's requirement, you have an embassy here in the Philippines, right? Do you have?
Yes, sir, I
Yes,
already got
Oh, you got
Yes.
that already. Very good.
Yes, thank you, Christian. Yes, we have got all important documents. Yeah,
Okay,
we
that's
already.
very good. That's very good.
Yeah.
So you seem to be complete now, except for this certificate from us that you undergo the necessary uh, orientation and counseling. So when you submit all those documents after 10 days or the 11th day, they usually release it on the 11th day. So you will receive this kind of document that says marriage license in the title of the document. Okay? So the number is this because this is a government printed form. So this is the license number itself. Okay?
Yes, of course.
Sir, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is it possible upon application of the license, would it be or would they allow us if in case one of us is not available, but if it's only will apply in City Hall?
Kung hindi available, sino?
Isa po,
Sino?
yung partner ko po. For example, ako lang yung mag-a-apply doon sa ano. Allowed po ba
Ah,
yun, sir?
allowed pag maluwag yung City Hall, hindi na siya hanapin. Basta makita lang na nandito na siya.
Kasi sir, January pa po siya makakaano dito.
Okay. Pagkatapos niyong ma-comply lahat ng requirements, subukan mong i-submit. Kasi kailangan din niya pirmahan tong marriage license form. Ito, yung application
Opo.
form na ito, kailangan niyang pirmahan sa baba eh. So, kung wala pa siya, baka i-require siya na ipa-authenticate pa sa embassy, which is matrabaho sa Philippine Embassy doon. Pagdating na lang, tsaka kayo dumiretso sa City Hall and go there together with this form and your requirements. Okay?
Mga ilang days, sir? For example, after January po ata, London kami at for 3 days.
Ah, kung mahal ba or madali? Ano yung question mo? Malabo kasi yung audio mo.
Ay, sorry po. Kung ilang days ba yun, sir, upon
10 days
yung
process. 10 days process, tapos 11th day, i-release sa inyo. So much better kung nandito na siya, diretso na kayo City Hall, Taguig. Submit all of these together. Okay? So rule on marriage
Noted.
license. Yeah, rule on marriage license. It is valid for 120 days. Okay, valid in any part of the Philippines. So whether you get married in Palawan or in Ilocos, it doesn't matter because that is valid in the entire Philippines for a period of 4 months and shall be automatically cancelled if you fail to register your marriage or do your marriage rights within 180 days period. Okay? The rule is no valid marriage license, no valid marriage. That is a principle. Okay? Under our Philippine family law. And these are the requirements. You can have this screenshot. This is the standard list, checklist of every city hall. Number 2 item, we deleted it already because it does not apply anymore. This is the community tax certificate. It's already an obsolete document. Okay?
Yes, thanks.
You're welcome, Brother Pal. The proceeding section already does not apply to you already. But I want to show this form to you, this marriage certificate form that you will sign on your wedding day. The first column is for your details, Brother Pal, as the husband. On the left side, or yeah, right side, is the wife's details, personal details, your birthday, your age, your location, your parents' name, etc. And also your religion requires to be stated there. If there's no religion, just say NA or not applicable. Now, there are two boxes here, 18, 19, 18. In box 18, there are two boxes here. You will check it if you made a prenuptial agreement. You will check here if you did not make any prenuptial agreement. Okay? So make sure that you tick one, just one of these two boxes at item 18. Okay? To make sure that the property regime in your marriage will be in accordance to what you desired before you make the celebration. Okay? And this is the certificate of marriage in PSA form. When your marriage reach the PSA office already, after 5 to 6 months, that's because that is the usual process, you will see a copy with security features like this. Okay? So this is the document being considered by the embassies or in the international area as a valid document, especially when it is apostilled by the DFA. Okay? When it is apostilled by the DFA. So we discussed this already. I hope I have covered most of the questions about your wedding documentation. Do you have any questions?
Yes, thank you so much. I have got an important question about, I'm in Hungary,
Yeah.
and we know we are not together with Greece, but I send power attorney for Greece. And what do you think it's will be enough for us LCR at LCR office? But we have got all important documents, but I have read in internet in Philippines homepage that need together go to the LCR office, and it's I think it's not easy for us. I'm sorry, I can't hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. So
Thank you.
You mean to say you gave an SPA to Mary Grace to transact with you with which office? To transact for you. What office?
For example, sir, yung sinasabi niya, patulad din ng question ko kanina is, allowed ba yung power of attorney dun sa application?
Oo, baka
Kasi
hindi
po,
most city halls are very hard to transact with. Okay? So if you are absent during the filing or submission of the documents, they will actually look for you. Because we have law about human trafficking, about mail order bride. So these city halls are very active in checking if our citizens are not being involved in the human trafficking activities here in the country. So they are making sure to see the groom, to see who is the alien party in your application. So that SPA may not be useful at all, may not be very useful because they will require your presence, when you submit that. Until when is the wedding day that you scheduled? When?
Possibly sir, January 26th. And he will
So
be here
and his arrival would be on
January 13,
January
midnight.
13. Paki-chat mo nga lang.
Opo.
So January 13, if we count 10 days, January 13. I'll just check the calendar. Okay. If January 13 would be your arrival, you need to go to, ano yan, Mary Grace? You need to go to the City Hall by January 15, Monday, business day. So from January 15, we will count 10 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It will be released to you on the 25th, January 25th. The marriage license will be released to you on January 25th, 25. So if January 26 would be your wedding, then you have your marriage license a day before your wedding. Does that answer your question?
Okay po. Noted sir, thank you po.
Yeah, Brother Paul, does that answer your question?
I haven't got. Thank you so much. Your answer. Yeah.
Okay. Just make sure that you arrive. The moment you arrive, you go to City Hall. So you cannot go to City Hall beyond January 15th. You need to be at the City Hall of the gig on January 15th. Okay?
Okay.
Okay sir, thank you po.
Okay. Time check, it's 2:50. Can we have a 10-minute break before we proceed to the next topic? Yeah, water break or washroom break. I'll see you again at 3 o'clock, exactly 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
stay in the Zoom room. Hello, good afternoon. I'm back.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
We are here.
Okay. Let's continue discussing the marriage definition. Socrates, the great Greek philosopher, said that the beginning of wisdom is the definition of term, which I understand to be you want to be wise. From the word wisdom, derive the word wise. You define the terms, and you will understand the meaning of the word. You have to define the origin or the real meaning of the word so you can be wise and you can decide or interpret interpret other areas related to the word. Okay? So, in my understanding, in my years of study about marriage, I define the marriage from the point of view of the human beings and from the point of view of the one who created marriage, who is God. But let us be reminded also that the human race started from the male, because if we don't understand this, if we don't discuss this, the marriage will be in trouble as to who will lead the marriage, as to who will take the lead in the relationship. So in the Bible, it tells us that the human being started from the male, okay? Not from the animals, not from any fossil, not from any scientific research, but only from the Bible. That it will give us the truth. So the humanity started with the male, and if you will study Genesis chapter 1, God prepared the male to be the foundation. Foundation for what? For the marriage, for the society, for the state. The male is being groomed by God to be the role model for everything. So when there's a female who accepted the proposal of the male, marriage will follow. But if the female did not accept the proposal of the male, no marriage will happen. Okay? So it will always depend on the male's proposition. And so I believe the reason why Mary Grace accepted your proposal, Brother Paul, to marry you is that you promised her something, right? That's why Mary Grace agreed to marry you, because you promised something to her. And so she expects that promise to be fulfilled by you during your married relationship. So Mary Grace will always expect you that during your lifetime. So don't fail in fulfilling that promise that you made to her. So when you get married, the state will intervene, the law steps in. That is the essence of the wedding papers. The state will intervene in your relationship. And if you don't make your relationship grow, it will malfunction and the state may be involved in your marriage. Okay? So that will be the effects of our action if we fail to make our relationship grow, because the state expects from you to grow and be happy together. And the benefits of making each other grow, wealth comes in. It's already studied in the US that when a male and a female, joined together their bloods and created an institution called marriage, they will benefit from it. Many benefits of marriage have been concluded already, according to scientific studies. Only if you're doing it right. Okay? There are conditions. Only if you're doing it right. So when you create a marriage, you will automatically create a family. If you will have children, that's better. And the community expects you to produce godly or functional offspring so that the community will benefit from your existence as a family. Okay? And more community is created with good and functional children being produced, then the nation will prosper. Okay? So if the nation is suffering from dysfunctional children, teenage pregnancy, drug-related crimes, social ills, etc., they will just go backwards to check the community. Who are these people being involved in crime? So they will check the community. The moment they identify the community, they will go to the family. Who are the parents of these people? Once they identify the family, they will go to the husband and the wife. What is happening to both of you? You're not doing your job as a couple. The kid that you produce are messing our country. And so when they were able to identify the female, the mother and the father, you will blame each other. Okay? Even the husband will blame the wife, or the wife will blame the husband. So that's where the malfunctioning started from. That's why we have this problematic society. Okay? It was already proven by behavioral scientists that our social ills emanated from the family, 99%. And 1% are just external forces or crises that the nation experiencing. Okay? So again, let's go back to marriage. As I've explained, this is a contract, special contract of permanent union and the foundation of the family, whose nature, consequences, and incidents are governed by law, not subject to stipulation, except that you make or decide on your property relations during the marriage, which is called the prenuptial agreement. And so ordinary contract versus special contract, the contract is just ordinary. It's the meeting of the parties' minds, two parties' minds, just like you're engaging a contractor to build your house. You can both impose your terms and conditions as long as you are not violating any law or morals or good customs or public policy or public order. Your contract is the law between the two of you. That is called ordinary contract. And it is inexistent or void if the cause, object, or purpose is contrary thereof. Contrary to what? Contrary to law, contrary to morals, contrary to good customs, or public order or public policy. Now, in special contract, as the marriage, it is special because the law dictates the terms. While in the ordinary contract, you dictate your terms. The special contract, you cannot dictate your terms anymore. Why? Because it is already governed by law. When the law says love, respect, honor your husband, you cannot make it conditional. It's already written as law, so you have no more right to oppose or make it conditional before you comply. Okay? It is not subject to our stipulations. The law itself governs your marriage, not your attitude, habits, vices, or beliefs about marriage. You cannot impose your terms and conditions only in a prenuptial. And the laws are to be complied unconditionally. Okay? In most cases, in the United States also, they knew that once the relation is formed, the law steps in. No, they have the same interpretation of what the marriage is all about. When you are living successfully together, it will be the true basis of human progress. No, being married with the right people, with the right spouse, it is a true basis of human progress. So it is very essential for you to check the person, person's background and everything about him or her, so you can benefit from being married to her or living with him or her for a lifetime. And it's essential to public welfare. The preservation of your relation is deemed essential to public welfare. In other words, the society or the public should benefit from your presence. Okay? Because you are giving something to the world that you both discovered to be your own unique solution to human beings' problems. Okay? So the male was prepared to be the foundation of the marriage, and the United States discovered that they are having these social ills because they have a world or a world without fathers because of the divorce law. So people in the United States or even those in countries that has divorce, they made marriage to be about themselves. When in truth and in fact, the marriage is about your spouse. You will not seek happiness anymore, but you are obligated to seek happiness to your spouse. You will give the happiness that your spouse uh, needs. Okay? So it's very important for us to complete our self love, our business as solo or single before we enter into marriage. Okay? Because you have to leave that behind. Your mentality, for you to be happy, you have to leave that behind. Your mentality should be your spouse. You will do something to make your spouse happy. The same way Mary Grace will think that I will do something to make Paul happy because you're done with your single days. Because that is the period that you will have to develop yourself and discover who you are. So until you discover yourself, who you are, until you are not ready to offer yourself to anyone, you don't enter marriage. You complete your process first. Okay? So this America has been suffering because of the fatherless world. They are abandoning their children and making themselves happy by getting another woman when the source of all these troubles are their ignorance to the design of marriage. Okay? So who is suffering? When we start thinking about ourselves, about our own happiness, even though we already married, those who suffer are the children. The boys are more likely to become involved in crime. Why? Because they are not being supported with their needs because of the abandoning fathers. And the girls are more likely to become pregnant as teens. Why? Because no father is guiding them to protect themselves. Because the parents or the fathers assume that the marriage is for them. When in truth, your goal is to make yourselves as one. So I have to skip this part. I will go to Einstein's statement about marriage. Look at this.
Yes. It was-
Marriage is a risk. He said marriage is a risk. Where is
yes.
that? Okay, this one. Can you see this, Brother Pal?
Yes, I think.
Yeah, he said marriage is a risk. When we say risk, it can either shorten or lengthen your life, no? And he said it would be a great and glorious risk as long as you embark on the adventure in the same spirit. What does he mean by the same spirit? It means one direction, one decision, one focus, one goal as a couple, and not having different goals. Because if you are pursuing different goals, you are creating a space in between. Okay? So that is the purpose of marriage, to make you one, because marriage is from the word gem, the fusion of two elements. You are two precious stones. And to make you one precious stone, you have to undergo the process of uh, purification, of heat, of pressure, pressures of life, no? High cost of commodities, that is pressure. Okay? So if you face your spouse as if he is the one giving you troubles, then you cannot be one. Okay? If you attack the problem rather than your spouse, then it, it can be easy for you to be as one. If you both attack the problem, not attacking each other. Okay? That's the
Yes.
purpose of marriage. You're making yourselves one. Mm. That that is the same spirit that Albert Einstein is talking about. You have to put yourselves into one vision, into one direction. Okay?
Okay, yes. Thanks.
Very good. Yeah, I hope you are yeah, I know you are following, Pal, Brother Pal. And also, Mary Grace, are you following?
Yes, sir. Listen.
Okay, very good. Now, let's talk about this part. Well, I'll show you a short video about the 5 traits that every man should need to possess to qualify for marriage as husband and father. So I'll show you this video. This is only about 9 minutes, I think. So watch and learn.
Hallelujah. Now, this is just going to get a little heavy because I ain't got much time left. I only got 19 minutes. Boy, I tell you, this is crazy. Anyhow, listen. So you see, you have this issue where God only made one human being, a single person. Now, if you study the book of Genesis, I ain't got time to get into it, but I'll just show you quickly. It says, and the Lord took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden. That's Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. Write that down. Now, God begins to instruct this one human being. He's not talking to anybody else. He's talking to the one human being, it seems. And he said to this one single, he put him in the Garden of Eden. Everybody say Eden. Say it loud. Loud, everybody. Eden is important. Write the word Eden down. The word Eden is a Hebrew word which means spot. S-P-O-T. It also means presence. It also means open door. It's a powerful Hebrew word. It also means delightful spot. I wrote a whole book on this. Please get the book. It's called The Power of Praise and Worship. It's about that spot. The word Eden means what? Spot. Let me define it for you. The word Eden in Hebrew means the spot for the moment where the presence of God is an open door to heaven. Everybody buy this tape, please. You got to remember all this stuff. So the first place God took the male man is put him in Eden. What is Eden? The spot for the moment where the presence of God is an open door to heaven. That's why Adam never had to pray, never had to sing, never had to clap, never had to dance, never had to worship. Why? You do those to get into the presence. The guy was put in the presence. Oh, I wish I could be here for 2 more days talking about this stuff. It's so important to understand that the first thing God gave Adam was not a woman. He gave him his presence, which means the first thing a man needs is not a woman. He needs the presence. If you meet a man who shows interest in you, your first question should not be, do you love me? Wrong question. The first question is, where are you? First question, do you love his presence? Because if a man is in God's presence, he could never slap you. He could never curse you. And God's smart. The first thing he gave this male man was his presence. That means when you meet a guy, make sure you meet him in Eden. You see, some of you ladies are so dumb and stupid. You go out of Eden to find a brother and then try to drag him back into Eden, and the guy say, I ain't coming. And you wondering why you're depressed in church and your husband watching sports. Come on, clap your hands. You got to get rid of it anyhow. Get rid of it. Praise God. Get it out. If you meet a man who doesn't love to worship, run. Very important. He gave him Eden. Then God began to talk to this man. God said to the man, he said, he put him in the Garden of Eden. His first instructions, work. Everybody say it? Work. Say it again? Work. Say it again? Work. The first place he put him is in his presence. The first command he gave him is work. So, the first thing a man needs is not a woman. He needs a job. God wants you to meet the man in his presence and working. By the way, the word work is an interesting word. I did a whole study on this in my book called Releasing Your Potential. You can order it through the internet because we only got a few books out there. I got bought specifically for you. Make sure you get all of them. Okay, but this book is important. It deals with the whole 4 chapters on work. I studied the word work. The word work in Hebrew, in that verse. Are you ready for it? Write it down. Work. Write the word work down. Here's what the word means. It's the word ergo. E-R-E-G-O. And it means, I love it. It means to become. It's a deep word. First command to Adam, become. Here's what God is telling Adam. He didn't, see, work is not something you do. It is something that you've discovered you're supposed to become, and you start becoming it. So never meet a man and marry him who don't know who he is. Because he can't become what he doesn't know. In other words, you got to find an individual who already has a clear understanding of their purpose. In other words, this man has a vision for his life. God told Adam to become himself, to become the vision he sees. Why? Because he's going to later on bring him an assistant. I'm getting deep now. See, a female was created by God to be a helper. But if ain't nothing to help with, you got yourself a frustrated woman. Come on, brother, sit up straight now. There are thousands and millions of frustrated, quietly depressed women in the church even, because they're living with a man who ain't got no vision. And they are full of energy. See, women come equipped because God made them to be helpers. That means they are sharp, intelligent, intuitive, wisdom leaking out of them. They are full of energy, ideas, and they're coming to help you, and you ain't got nothing to do. And so, when a woman comes to a man who ain't got nothing to do, that means he ain't got nothing for her to help him with, she finally helps herself. She builds her own business, starts her own company, and then that dumb fool calls it aggression. I'm talking about a husband. A boyfriend says, "You're so aggressive." She ain't aggressive. It's you who ain't got no vision. Oh, I'm talking to somebody. You so bossy. No, she ain't bossy. You lazy, brother. She ain't got nothing to put her energy on. That's why she's busy. Come on, ladies, go with me and shout a little loud for me. So when you want to marry a good man, your first question is what? Are you in the garden? Number 2, are you working? Number 3, where are you going? What's your vision? Let's not discuss love yet, because love does not keep marriage together. Is this good stuff? I'm having a good time, I'm telling you. The third thing God told the man, he said, cultivate. Everybody say cultivate. Genesis 2:15. Cultivate. Everybody say cultivate. The word cultivate means to bring out the best in everything around you. To cultivate means that you put fertilizer and you dig around it and you bring out the fruitfulness. In other words, cultivate means that you maximize the potential of something in your presence. God told the male, you are to be a cultivator. That means a real man does not oppress a woman's gifts. He makes room for them. He encourages them. He sends her to night school to get more knowledge, and he pays for it. Oh, I'm talking to myself. He's a cultivator. He improves his wife. To cultivate means that you make the thing in your presence the best it could be. Cultivation. I love Jesus. You know, he's a good man, and he does have a wife. Her name is Ecclesia. She's a beautiful lady. Here's how he treats her. It says, husband, love your wife like Christ loves his wife. How? He cleanses her. He washes her. He improves her. He gives her the word. He moves every blemish, every stain, everything. And then it says he presents her to, not to his father, but to himself. In other words, a real man cultivates a woman, develops a woman, refines a woman, and makes her so awesome, he says, that's mine, brother. Look at that. That's mine. He presents her to himself. A real man improves a woman. God, I got 7 minutes. Praise God. So when you meet a man who winks at you, don't be impressed. Start asking the questions of the first man. Number one, do you love God's presence? Number two, are you working? Number three, do you have a vision for your life? Number four, can you improve me, baby? Come on, clap your hands loud and shout amen in this place. It's a real man. My wife teaches conferences all over the world with me now. She speaks to millions of women, television. She speaks to thousands of women in conferences all over the different nations. But when I first met her, she was so shy, afraid to even talk to cats. Very, very, very quiet, introvert, you know. But you see, let me tell you men something. Listen to me, guys, listen to me now. When God gives you an assignment, he gives you the material to use it on. Listen to me. So God will never give a male the woman he wants. That's why a male will never find the woman he really wants. She doesn't exist. God will only give him the raw material. Because his job is to what? Cultivate. So you men always trying to find the perfect woman. The perfect woman only exists in your head. Your job is to work on the one that you chose and make her the woman in your head. When Jesus first met his wife, she was full of sin and dirt and muck and damnation and hellbound. He says, I still love you, baby. Come on, somebody. And he married her. And he took his blood and he cleansed her. And then he took every spot, every wrinkle, every blemish, every sin. He said, look at that. That's my baby. Come on, praise his name. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's a real man. All the ladies say with me, cultivate me, baby, cultivate me, baby, cultivate me, baby. Come on, look at the guy next to you and say, cultivate me, baby. Come on, praise him just for a couple seconds. Just give him glory. You're getting revelation knowledge. Hallelujah! Praise God. Sit down, quick, sit down, sit down. I got 4 minutes. Oh, Jesus, have mercy. Shh. Calm down, listen. And after God gave the man cultivation responsibility, then he comes with the last one. He says, guard the garden. Everybody say guard. He told this single man, you are to protect everything that comes into your presence. That's why God designed the male to be physically larger. His muscle mass is bigger. His bone structure is stronger. Not to hurt women, but to protect women. Clap, ladies, right there. Praise God. When a man hurts a woman physically with his hands or his body, he is abusing the purpose for his strength. The safest place for a woman should be in the arms of her husband. The safest place for a daughter should be the arms of her father. But we got incest everywhere. Protect. So when you take a young lady out, sir, in this church or wherever you're from on a date, she's supposed to be safe, not sorry she went. She's supposed to come back safe, not pregnant. You shouldn't use your strength to overpower your date. You use it to protect her from yourself. But Jesus was the protector of his wife, wasn't he? You want to hear him talk about her? Listen how he talks about her. He says, if anyone offends my wife, it is better for him to tie a rope around his neck and a stone on the other end and commit suicide. In other words, don't fool with my wife. I will kill you, he says. That's what I call protection. Don't entertain a man who doesn't open the door for you. Oh, Lord. And he opened the door because you're weak. He opened it because he doesn't want you to hurt your nails. Protecting you, baby. Last command, God said to the man, he says, and I command you, this is the last one now, he says, keep my command. Do not touch the tree. The last thing God gave the male, the single, was his word. Write it down. His what? Word. That means that the male had the word before the woman. And he had word before woman. By the way, I'm going to autograph all the books that you buy because my publisher told me my autograph is now worth $56,000. Ooh, that's nice. Listen, when you meet someone who winks at you, first question is what? Do you love his?
Hi, thank you so much for watching. Please remember you can support our work on our Patreon.
Sorry.
Hi, yeah.
It's good. Okay, thanks.
Were you able to watch the video and from start to finish?
Yes.
Yeah, did you get the message of the video?
Yes, of course. Thanks.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. So it tells us how God built the foundation for the man whenever whatever decision he would decide, whether he would become a single person or he would marry someone else. That should be the status or the situation of the man so he can be successful in all his endeavors afterwards, whether he becomes the president of a nation or he becomes a, a father or a husband. So they're all system covered actually. So let me get each of those ideas that he presented as what occurred in the Garden of Eden. So let's get this. Let us enumerate each of them. When a guy knows God, you are safe. Because if he is only afraid of himself or afraid of anyone, not afraid of anything, not afraid of even the law of the government, then you are in danger. So the ideal man must be godly, knows God, fears God, loves God. When he loves God, of course, he needs to know what God thinks about himself, what God has put in his personality to be his unique gift needed by the world, he would definitely or eventually discover that gift from God. Fears God. Of course, when the person fears God, you will be protected because he is afraid of what God can do to him later on if he hurt his spouse. Second, he must have a vision for his life. He must be a visionary because that is the meaning of the word work in Hebrew. And he must take the lead as a leader to the family. He must have goals. Otherwise, the marriage will just go around on a daily cycle type of living, like having sex, uh, working on the day, eating, sleeping at the night, then wake up again to work, then go home, then eat, then sleep, or have sex on a daily basis. This is like a cycle, and a cycle creates a circle that has no direction. So in order for the marriage to be very exciting on a daily basis, there must be a vision. There must be something for the husband to be excited to wake up in the morning. There must be something for the husband to fulfill for the betterment of life of other people. That is the secret. That is the key. Your marriage should discover something that the world or the next generation needs. Okay? Because that will give you wealth in the process. Protector. You must be a protector to your wife, to your children, to your family. The safest place for the wife should be in the arms of her husband. The safest place for Mary Grace should be in your arms, Brother Paul. And for your children, to your entire family. Okay? That's why we were given strong bones and hard muscles. That's the purpose of it, for the family to be protected by us. Number 4 is the cultivator. You must improve your wife. If you want your wife to be like this in your mind, to be something that exists in your mind, that is your obligation to make her the woman in your mind, because that is also the definition of our position as husband. No, from the word husband, the one who binds the house together. So binding the house together requires us to make sure that our wife will not get lost. Binding the house together is also making sure that our children will not get lost to their direction. So we need to have our own direction, so the children and the spouse will just follow you. Okay? Because they know
Yeah.
because they know what you are doing is a commandment from God and something the next generation will be very useful for. Okay? And the fifth one should be law abiding. We must always be a law abider as husbands. We have to show our family that we follow the law, that we obey the law, and so our family will also be trained to comply with the law. Even if we are already gone on earth, they know that it's very important for them to follow the law. So the government will not take advantage of them. Even the other people will not take advantage of them when they know the law and when they comply with the law. Okay? Now, the ideal woman, Mary Grace, your position, wife, is from the word helper. And if we go backwards, it's ezer in Hebrew, which means God in the flesh for the husband. When we say God in the flesh, this is the time where you only need your wife to you only you as a wife, Mary Grace, where you are the only person where Paul will run into during emergency cases. What are those emergency cases? When he is already about to release his sperm, because we are producing sperm every 2 to 3 days at an early age. In the next bracket of age, maybe one or twice a week, we produce our sperm. So you just need to be ready or available, Mary Grace, for that purpose. And another thing that Brother Paul may expect from you is the what do you call that? The affirmation. The affirmation when your husband is in trouble, when your husband is depressed, you will be the source of his strength. Mary Grace. Sa'yo manggagaling yung mabubuting salita, yung inspiration na hinahanap niya sa labas ng bahay na hindi niya natanggap. Sa'yo manggagaling yun, Mary Grace. Ikaw yung magbi-build up sa kanyang panghihina. Ikaw yung magbi-build up sa kanyang pagkalito sa buhay. That will be your role, Mary Grace. Pag yan nawawala ng pag-asa, ikaw, Mary Grace, yung pagkukunan niya ng lakas para mabuhay uli yung kanyang dugo, yung mabuhay uli yung kanyang pagnanais to move forward in life. Okay, Mary Grace? Hindi ikaw yung dapat source ng kanyang problema. Nakuha mo?
Thank you.
Hindi ikaw yung dapat na maging reason ng kanyang pagkalungkot. Ha? Dapat because of your presence in his life, dapat lagi siyang masigasig gumawa ng mga bagay na nakakapagpasaya sa kanya at nagbe-benefit ang pamilya. Okay? Kaya hindi dapat marinig sa iyo yung mga paninisi o panunumbat na ikaw kasi sinabihan na kita, huwag mong gagawin yan ginawa mo pa rin. Mali yun. Hindi natin dapat sinisisi o sinusumbatan ang husband sa oras, lalo na sa oras na kailangan kanya. Okay? Okay, Mary Grace?
Okay po.
Yeah, thank you. What else? Ang ideal woman para sa magandang marriage or magandang pagsasama. The second one is your virtue. You should protect your body parts. Hindi na siya dapat dinidisplay sa ibang tao, kundi sa asawa na lang, no? You only display your body parts to your own husband, not to anybody else. So dapat maging sexy ka man para lang sa paningin ni Paul. Yung husband, not to please other men or other people, no? That is called virtue. Iniingatan mo na yung sarili mo para hindi ka mapahamak or hindi mapahiya si Brother Paul. Okay? Number 3, respect. Scientifically discovered, the priority of the man is respect. Hindi mo dapat ninanag, or you should not be nagging or insisting on something under pressure, no? For Paul to do it for you, no, that's bad. You should not be nagging or forcing something that is beyond the capability of Paul or your husband. Hindi nanunumbat, hindi magastos. You should be saving the finances being given to you by Paul. You should learn how to manage your finances. You should learn how to spend it wisely. You don't buy things that are not needed yet. You don't buy things that are not profitable for you or for the family. Okay? You don't insult your husband. You don't dominate your husband, because no husband will be happy for a dominant wife, because the relationship will really malfunction. Why? Because you are abusing it. Abuse is from the word abnormal use. So in order for the marriage to work smoothly, let the man rule or take the lead, because he knows he will not dominate you as well. He will consult you in all your problems, and so you will have one decision. Okay, because as I've said a while ago, deciding alone is like a betrayal to one another. You make one your body by also making one decision. Okay, so you don't dominate also. You don't teach your husband what to do. No husband will like that. Okay. Submissive.
Right.
You are very submissive to the vision of your husband. You support, you believe in the vision of your husband. You should believe, because that is also making you, that will also make you one. You believe in the vision of your husband. Just like my wife believes in me also. What's my vision? I am envisioning a population of Filipinos, a majority population of Filipinos with good mentality. And how to do that? We teach them the right knowledge like this. We teach every marrying couple the right information so they can make the right decision, so they can enjoy the right kind of life that they want. Okay? My wife believes me on that, and she supports me on that. So everything that she do also, everything that she says, whatever she says outside our home, it is always aligned to my goal, to my personal goals, because he believes in it. She believes in it. So it is your role, Mary Grace, to believe in your husband's vision. So you don't create two visions in the house, because two visions means DI. You will only create division. Okay? If you are focusing on your vision and your husband is also focusing on his vision, then you create a space in between. So two visions means division. Okay? You cannot create two visions in the house. Only one vision. Okay? What else? Wise. You should be wise enough managing your finances. And you should not be saving for yourself without Paul's knowledge. If you are saving money behind Paul's knowledge, it's like a betrayal. What is that for? What are you saving for? Okay? So your husband should know how much your saving is. Your husband should know your income. Though he will not ask for it, but he will make sure that when he needed something to add to finance for his goal, then you have something to release, to give. Okay? So the message is, don't save alone for yourself. Save for the family. So you both contribute to the bank. No? The husband will contribute some portion of his earnings to pay for the bills, and you also contribute some portion of your earnings to pay for the bills of the marriage, of the family. Okay? So that is called joint contribution, joint efforts. Okay? Although you have this natural feeling to own your own money, you actually have the obligation also to produce something when Pal cannot produce at a time. Okay? So that's where your role as helper comes in, Mary Grace. Okay? What else? The signs of malfunctioning marriage. You should also know this, so you should be aware if your marriage is already malfunctioning. Okay? A defective woman does not know God, does not love or fears God. When all of these qualities are in your husband, then you are opposite, then there will be a malfunctioning marriage. If you don't believe in the vision of your husband and pursuing your own vision, that is also one way for the marriage to malfunction. Palaban sa husband, if you are always fighting with your husband, always thinking that you have an equal rights to her or to him as his wife, sagot ng pabalang, iniinsulto ang husband, layas ng walang paalam, okay? That is called a defective woman. Hindi ka dapat palaban sa husband mo. Hindi mo dapat iniisip na pantay tayo, may karapatan din ako. No. Kung nagalit ang husband, wag labanan. Lalamig din yan. Hintayin lang kumalma. Okay? Wag labanan, wag sumagot-sagot. Kaya pag sinagot-sagot mo ang asawa mo, ang husband mo, sa panahon na galit siya, then you are declaring war. Mahirap isolve, tatakbo ang araw bago isolve ang isang away galing sa sagutan. Kasi you declared a war. Matagal bago magamot yan because the husband will also feel violated, that he was disrespected. On the other hand, Brother Pal, if you said harsh words to your wife, she may also defend herself. So giving harsh words to the wife is a no-no. It's also illegal to God to be harsh to the woman, according to Apostle Paul in Colossians chapter 1. Okay, Brother Pat? And a defective woman is also one who does not want to improve herself. She has already decided who she is. Okay? When your husband wants you to learn this, you should be open to accepting it and learn it. Do not stop from growing because the moment your husband is very focused in fulfilling the vision that he has, then you have to fly with him together. You should fly together. Do not allow your husband to fly alone. So do not decide for yourself that you don't want to improve anymore because you are shy, nahihiya ka na mag-aral kasi may edad ka na. You don't think like that. You don't please others. You please your husband. Okay? You should cooperate. And what will convince her to follow God's will? What will convince you to follow God's will? Of course, from your husband, by leading by example. You have to be leading by example, Brother Paul, so that Mary Grace will just follow you because you are leading by example. You are doing what you are saying. You have integrity. Okay? Integrating the mind, the heart, and the soul. Whatever you think and say, you are doing it at the same time. Okay? You have this integrity, integrating your mind, your heart, and the soul, which in Hebrew calls holy. Okay? Holy. Integrating the mind, the heart, and the soul. So Jesus said, be holy just like my Father in heaven. He will not tell us to be holy if it's impossible to do. He will not ask us to do something if it's very impossible to do. So when he said it, it only means it's possible. By just aligning your thoughts, your words, and your actions into one. Huh, Brother Pal? Are you learning?
Yes.
Thank you for that. Now, on the other hand, another sign of malfunctioning marriage would be if there is a defective man. If the man is ungodly or refuses to believe in God or believe in other gods, small g, no vision in life, lost, no direction, not a protector. Oh, the husband uses his strength, not his mind, to hurt his family. Uncultivator lives in his own world, does not want his wife to improve or does not want his life to improve. Lawbreaker, no fear with anyone. So this is also the signs of a marriage malfunctioning. Okay? So far so good. Are you learning?
Yes po, sir. Thank you po.
Yes.
Yeah, time check is 4 o'clock. Let me sum up our lesson by having these 10 foundation invisible stones for building a successful marriage. Number one stone should be your love. Of course, you love each other. That's why you decided to get married. But that is not only the first level of foundation for your relationship. The next one should be truth. You should tell each other about your past, your present, and your future. This is my past. This is what I did in the past. This is what I have done. And these are my present. And these are my future. So you should have that. No, you will give all the information to each other about each other's background. And that should include your future. What do you plan in the future? And you make that as one plan. Okay? That is the truth that you need to know to each other, from each other. Now, trust. After giving all those truths, then you should trust each other that you will reach that future that you envision together. You should trust each other, and don't give doubts about your spouse intention, your spouse habits, your spouse words. You don't give doubt. Don't doubt any of your husband's words. Don't doubt any of your wife's habits or attitude. Don't doubt. Just trust him or her that she's doing the right thing or he's doing the right thing. Okay? So if you just see warning signs of being lost in track, okay? Lost in track of your vision together, then talk to him or talk to her. You say, honey, it looks like you are getting off track of our vision already. Okay? You're losing focus. So get back to the track so that we can straighten our actions, our words, and goals towards this future that we are envisioning together. Okay? You trust each other, as simple as that. Don't accuse of anything. Don't accuse each other of anything. Even if you don't, even if you, especially when you don't have evidence, don't accuse your spouse of anything. You need evidence first, okay? Before accusing him or her of anything. Number 4, commitment. So how do we give this commitment? You should be committing yourselves to each other, right? Because you have committed to live together for better or for worse, then your commitment to each other should never waver, should never stop. Okay? No,
Okay.
nothing can hinder, nothing should hinder your commitment to each other during the marriage. Commitment to what? Commitment to protect her, commitment to love her, commitment to ensure her safety, and vice versa. Mary Grace, you are also committed to make Pal happy, to give him the support, the the motivation that he needs, and all others. Number 5, respect.
Yes.
This is mutual to both of you. You also need respect, Mary Grace. But Pal, the priority of the woman is love or affection, while the priority of the husband, Mary Grace, is respect. So this is work. This works in both ways. If you give love to your wife, then she would respect you. If you give respect to your husband, then he would love you more. Okay?
Okay. Good.
Submission, as I've explained in a while ago, submitting your vision to one another so that you will have one vision together. You will fly high without leaving the other. You know, I have this client from U.S. Army who is now marrying a 19-year-old Filipina. They came here in the office and sought help about their marriage license, marriage rights, and the legal documentation. So the U.S. Army told me that he was divorced and he led a strong platoon or regiment of army. He received recommendation. He has been an army leader for several years. And so he got lots of medals, lots of achievements, lots of commendations, everything. And he was telling me about the second wife that he divorced. Okay, this Filipino woman is already the third wife. The second one that he was telling me about is that during his army days, this second wife will always argue with him as to his commendations, his medals, and everything. That second wife said, "You know, these awards are all about you. These commendations are all about you. Where am I in our marriage?" And you know what the ex-wife did? The ex-wife said, "I will destroy you. I will destroy your reputation. I will tell everybody your mismanagement in the home." Yes, you are. Yes, you are a great leader in the army. You led 1,000 armies. You received all these medals, but you mismanage your home. So I will destroy you. That's what the wife did. And so they divorced later on. Okay? Now he is marrying a 19-year-old Filipina. So I told him, brother, uh, you are marrying a very young girl, and this is your third marriage, and you should be aware that you have lots of work to do. Okay? You have lots of work to do. You are now in your 60s. And so you're marrying a 19-year-old with an undeveloped maturity, undeveloped personality, and this may cause you also problems later on. And so he agreed. And so please give us the necessary counseling. And so my wife and I conducted a private or one-on-one counseling, very rigid counseling for each of them. Because knowledge is really the first action that they need to take so they can work their relationship together. No? The right knowledge, right counseling from the right people. Okay? So submission is very necessary, and also knowledge for the both of you. You need to, if you read history, I know Brother Pal is aware of this. Centuries ago, I read in one book that in Germany they are practicing uh, matching smart men to smart women. They are matching that. So the government is dictating to people who to marry. So the people have no choice who to marry. It's the government that dictate to them. You marry this man because he is smart, and you are a smart woman. So smart men and smart women are being joined, being matched for marriage. I just forgot the term. They call it they are matching the DNA because it will also produce a functional adult that will benefit the society. A functional adult coming from the functional parents. No, they have experiment like that. So once you have a lot of knowledge as an individual or as a couple together, then it will be easier for you to face the challenges in your marriage because you have enough knowledge to protect yourselves. Okay? So you must be filled with education. Just like me and my wife, as you can see, we are investing in education because we don't want to be fooled by anyone else. We want to have that knowledge to be our shield if people attacks us, no, attacks us with anything, okay, and also for us to be credible in our business, for us to be competent for the services that we are giving in. And if every couple will do that, then you will be strong enough to face all those challenges in your marriage. What else? Faithfulness. You need to be faithful to one another. There should be no doubt about that, about your faithfulness to each other. There should be no question about you being faithful to your wife, even if your husband is not around, or even if your wife is not around. There should be no question about that faithfulness. Patience. You,
Yes.
you, you need a truckload of patience to each other because you are different. You are different by design, brother. Did you know that the women are created to be emotional? So they will always say what they feel. So the more they are depressed, the more they are angry, the more they tend to be talkative, to be noisy. So the woman should always be happy, brother Pal. Okay? Make her happy all the time so she will not express disappointments because they are noisy when they express disappointments. Huh? Okay? That's why they have a saying, happy wife, happy life. In other words, if the wife is enjoying her life, then she will be happy all the time, and you will see that in her. It will reflect in her aura, in her personality, if she is happy, diba? And you, brother Pal, has the obligation to make her happy all the time. Secondary is for Mary Grace to think about your happiness. Secondary, your primary role is to make her happy. Mary Grace, the secondary role on your part is to make you happy. Okay, so patience is necessary for both of you in order for you to understand each other. The more you live together for many years, the more you will develop your patience because you have studied each other already. You have studied their tendency, her tendency, and his tendency. You are being controlled by the knowledge also that when you say this, he will get angry. When you say this, she will get angry. So better not say it, right? Because you know her already. So before you can develop patience, you need to know each other well. So that when you deal with each other, you will not attack your spouse right then and there. You will remember the knowledge that you know about him or her. Then you will not attack your spouse anymore. Okay? In the process, in the long run, you will develop your patience. Number 10, financial stability. This is the source of, of paying all the obligations of the marriage, to maintain the standards of living, to sustain the needs for physical needs like the food, the shelter, the clothing, the water. This is where they would all be sustained from the financial resource. So have you discussed that already? What is your source of income? What is my source of income? And how long will we enjoy this source of income? Would there be a time that we will be terminated from our employment? Then what happens after that? I'm getting old. The company may look for a younger ones with a smaller salary. Okay, you think about that 5 or 10 years from now, so that you should be prepared when economic crisis hit our lives again. Okay, when economic crisis hit our countries again, just like this pandemic, which I hope has been over. This pandemic. Okay, any questions so far? Any question,
Thank
brother?
yes, thank you. I haven't got question.
Okay, I hope you are still learning by this time.
Yes, of course.
Okay. I will ask your participation by reading these articles from Dr. Miles Monroe, which we enumerated a while ago. So I'd like to hear your voice. Can you read this to us, Brother Pal?
Yes, yes, I have read.
Yeah, please read it verbally.
Uh,
Love in
um,
marriage.
Wala
yes.
pong, wala pong nakikita sa
Ah,
screen,
walang
sir.
screen? Oh, sorry. Sorry. I thought it was shared already. Okay. Can you see it now?
Okay na, ayun na po.
Okay. Brother Pal, please.
Yes.
Love in marriage. Can you read it to us, please?
Ako na lang, sir.
Okay. Sige, ikaw na
No.
lang.
Marriage is more than just a feeling or an emotion. It is a choice. It is a decision you make any every day with regard to your spouse. Understanding that love is a choice will help keep you out of trouble when temptation comes and its way. You make a decision. You choose to love and cherish him or her for the rest of your life. That love must be present daily. It is a sacrificial habit. Love for yourself can choose to renew daily. And
Yan.
hopefully some
Freshening your love to each other must be done on a daily basis, not weekly. Okay? It should be daily. So remember that because it is a choice on your part. You made a decision to love each other. So it has to be strengthened by doing it every day, by serving each other, the needs of each other. Okay, next one is love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. No, whatever is past is past. If that is settled already, then don't bring it up anymore. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres, because love never fails. One thing I like about this description of love is this one, that it is not easily angered. So this is my problem before. I'm easily angered, but when I understand well the meaning of love, it stops me from being angry all right away. No, it stops me from acting emotionally. against my wife. Ever since I learned the true meaning of love. The next one is truth. Mary Grace, pakibasa mo ulit.
Fundamental in marriage, a marriage that is not based on truth is headed for trouble right away. The greatest and most reliable source of truth is the Bible. It is the Word of God, who is himself truth and the one who designed and instituted marriage. Truthfulness between husband and wife is an indispensable part of a successful marriage. No one's intellect or served if spouses are not honest with each other. Honesty, tempered, and seasoned with love fosters an environment of trust.
Yan, thank you. Lagi daw magiging maliwalas yung ating pagsasama kapag tayo ay mayroong honesty sa isa't isa. Lagi tayong tapat sa ating mga sinasabi at hindi tayo nagbibigay ng maling impormasyon sa ating asawa. Okay? Next is trust. Tuloy mo.
Is closely related to truth, trust each other implicitly. Nothing damages a marriage more than a broken trust. Hard to grow and prosper in an atmosphere of bitterness or unhappy, resentment, and suspicion. Both partners should not say or do anything to give each other any reason to doubt or distrust them. Trust enables a husband and wife to enjoy a relationship characterized by openness and transparency, with no secrets or locked rooms or a set of limits to each other. Trust is an essential element of commitment.
Ayan, di ba? Mahirap daw mag-grow or lumago sa isang environment o pagsasama na mayroong pagdududa sa isa't isa or sama ng loob or bitterness inside. Okay? So, pagtiwalaan lagi ang asawa. Commitment?
Commitment is a frightening word to many people in our society today. They are afraid of being locked in or tied down to any kind of a long-term arrangement. A man and a woman approach an altar, exchange their vows, go through the motions, and give lip service to commitment. The idea of marriage is to hang together till the going gets rough. If the marriage is okay, if it doesn't, they split. Many plan for the marriage to fail, but only a few plan for the success of it. Those who do not plan for success are virtually guaranteed to fail. Marriage is a covenant that involves blood. Blood covenant lasts a lifetime. Violation of this covenant brings serious consequences.
Yan, hindi tayo entitled na mag-violate, no? Hindi na tayo pwedeng magbigay ng kondisyon the moment na tayo ay pumasok na sa covenant or sumpaan with God. Respect.
Respect for a relationship to be healthy must be built on mutual respect. To respect someone means to esteem that person, to consider him or her worthy of high regard. Many men grew up to regard women as little more than sex objects to be possessed and used at will. God created man, male and female, in his own image. He created them equal in every significant way. Spouses treat each other as made in God's image. They never have any problems with respecting each other.
Yan, basta ituring lang daw ang bawat isa na God's image, you will never have any problems respecting each other because naniniwala kayo, you believe in each other as a creation of God. Next is submission.
Submission goes both ways. Ephesians 5:25 says that husbands are supposed to love their wives in that same way, a love characterized by sacrificial, self-giving submission. Properly understood, there is nothing demeaning about submission. It is chosen freely, not imposed from within. It is the willingness to give up our rights to ourselves, to fully surrender our insistence on having our own way all the time. It means putting the needs, rights, and welfare of your spouse ahead of yourself. A marriage built on this kind of submission grows healthy, strong, and fulfilling.
Yan. Explain ko na to kanina, no? Submission. So, alam niyo na to, ha? Next is knowledge.
It's also a part of your firm foundation for marriage. Many marriages struggle or fail because of lack of knowledge. They don't have a clue what marriage truly is or not. They carry unrealistic and unreasonable expectations of themselves, their spouses, and their relationships as a whole. With all the resources currently available to us and because so much is at stake, there is no excuse today for marital ignorance or illiteracy. A period of courtship and engagement is very important, and why marital counseling is indispensable. Get to know one another, talk about your dreams, your desires, and your expectations, then study how you will both conform to God's design of marriage.
Kaalaman about sa ating roles, di ba? Na-explain ko din to kanina. Hindi siya optional. It is a requirement to know about the God's design of marriage. Next is faithfulness.
Faithfulness is closely related to commitment and also has a lot to do with trust. It is more than just sexual security. Being faithful to your wife also means defending her, affirming her beauty, intelligence, and integrity at all times. Being faithful to your husband means sticking up for him, always building him up, and never tearing him down. Marital fidelity means that your spouse's health, happiness, security, and welfare take a higher place in your life than anything else, even your own relationship with the Lord.
Yan, faithfulness. This is very important also dahil related daw ito sa ating commitment at sa ating pagtitiwala sa isa't isa. Ang asawa natin ay dapat dinedefend din natin daw, protektahan, affirming also her beauty, intelligence, and integrity at all times. Ibig sabihin, pag may kausap tayong ibang tao, dapat laging mabuti ang sinasabi natin sa ating kausap about sa ating asawa. Okay? Sticking up for him and always building him up and never tearing him down. Okay? And the last one, I think it's patience. Mary Grace?
Another essential foundation stone for building a successful and happy marriage. Why? Because marriage brings together two totally different people with different experiences, backgrounds, temperaments, likes and dislikes, and cultures. Because of these differences, both should make major adjustments in their attitudes if they want their marriage to succeed. Some bumps and bruises along the way are inevitable, not flushing the toilet, leaving dirty clothes around, etc. We may have conflicts about money, sex, use of leisure time, parenting, etc. The key to effectively handle this is a tough load of patience.
Yan, pasensya sa isa't isa, no? Maaari magkaiba kayo ng pinanggalingan at mga naisin, but the important thing is you need to have patience para pag-isayin ninyo ang inyong mga naisin sa buhay. And the last one pa pala, financial stability. Finally, isa pa, na lang.
Stability is one of the most overlooked foundations for marriage. Many young couples give little thought at the importance of entering marriage with a well-established financial base. The time to think about finances is before the wedding, long before. Discuss this matter frankly and honestly and have a clear financial plan in place before taking their vows. There should be a steady and dependable source of income. The man should have steady employment or must own a business. Financial difficulty is one of the main causes of marital failure. Never underestimate the importance of financial stability to a successful marriage.
Okay, thank you, Mary Grace. Please give me 5 minutes.
Okay po.
Yeah, washroom lang ako sandali. Hold on.
My love. How are you there? Hello. Oh,
Yes, I haven't got. Okay.
um, yes, we will have a 5 minute break, my love. Are you still there? Hello.
Yes. Yes, I'm here, but uh, mm, I haven't got good uh, connection, and it's your voice, my my love is very very bad, and it's Angelo. Yeah, I can't hear good. Yeah,
Is that only for mine, or is also Sir Angelo? Or
s- sorry, I don't understand. It's connected. It's not good. It's broken. It's a lot of, yeah. I don't know. It's do you hear me?
no?
But you can still follow my love.
Yes, hello. We now come to the concluding part of our session. I hope you are still awake. Huh? I
Yes
hope
po.
you will
Yes, yes, of course.
bring all these principles that you have learned to your marriage and apply them. Okay? Now, when you have children, please take note that being a responsible parent is a law. Okay? So, the instructions to us, since God is the creator of family, let us all remember that training up a child in the way he should go is making or showing them our own examples of how a marriage or family life should be. How an ideal or marriage or family life should be. So train in Hebrew means that you are in front of that train and the children are attached to that train. You are the engine. So wherever you go, whatever you do, whatever you say in this life and to each other as spouses, your children will just follow you. Okay? Wherever you go, whatever you do, together as husband and wife, your children will just follow you. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
Here you go. A French philosopher said this: the romantic view of children as gentle savages with an innate purity who, if not tampered with, would grow up naturally into good and moral adults. In other words, when a child is born, that baby is very pure. He does not know anything about bad things on earth. The baby does not know anything about illegal things. The baby knows only good things. Okay? So if we will not tamper them, if we will not allow them to to see violent things, if we will not allow them to hear bad words or cursing words, the child will naturally grow into good and moral adults. Okay? So being responsible parents is our national law. So this is not a suggestion. So please be responsible before you produce children to the society, you make sure that they are functional children. Now, to be functional human being, these needs have to be supplied, as studied by Maslow. No, this is our checklist. What this child needs is already studied by science. What every child needs is already studied by science. This is the study of Abraham Maslow. This is your checklist. And Eric Erikson studied the stages of development of every human being. He is the most cited psychologist of the 20th century. Why? Because his studies are close to the truth, very close to the truth of what is happening to a child or to a baby until he grows up into an adult. So you must study Eric Erickson's psychosocial development while you are helping your child grow. This is your obligation. So we cannot discuss this now. This is very long. This is a separate discussion. You can also do your own study about it. This is called responsible parenting. Okay? Every child has a stage that has to be survived. And this is what Eric Erickson is telling us. Now, if you have this perfect family picture in your mind, it's like having a perfect building on the land that you will construct with the building. So to make that happen, you need to get the right team members, the right architects, the right engineers, the right carpenters, right masons, laborers, right electricians, right plumbers, right suppliers, right finance management team, and the right performance of their duties. If one of these people will think about himself or bring his vices in the project, then your project will malfunction. All of these team members should only focus to the vision of constructing that building. Now, for you to have a perfect marriage, for you to have a perfect family, you need to have the right team members as well. Get the man with the right mentality, get the right woman with the right mentality. The right husband and father should be studying his job description. The right wife and mother should also be studying her job description. Get the right friends who are family or goal oriented. You don't speak to people who have no goals in life and just wasting time in social media, wasting time on the road, wasting time watching news, wasting time reading newspapers. You don't need to spend time with these people who have who does not know who have no goals in life, who does not know where they are heading. Get the right counselors during challenges. If you are having a hard time to resolve it by yourself, get the right counselor. No, we are here for you. Right environment. Is it the right dwelling place for you? Are you managing it together, or someone is managing it for you, or managing your life, like your in-laws? If you live with your in-laws, then they will manage your own life. You will not have the capacity to decide for your own together as husband and wife because you are dwelling in their kingdom. Okay? So choose the right environment for the both of you because you are building your own kingdom. Right budgeting and finance skills. You should also have these skills and perform your respective duties together as husband and wife. And you will have a perfect or aligned marriage to the design, according to the design. Harvard conducted a study for 85 years now, and they concluded that the happiest and healthiest people on earth are those who invested in relationships, not in real estate, not in crypto, but in relationship inside the family. You can watch that on YouTube. This is a 12-minute video. We are lacking in time now. So I just have to make this as your assignment. So please watch this together. Okay. So happy life, happy marriage, happy family is our priority. You can decide on that. You can decide if you want to have a happy life, you can decide on that. If you want to have a happy marriage, you can decide on that. Decide your happy family. So that's our priority, which should also be your priority. Okay, these are my kids. I'm playing with them most of the time. And this is them now, together with my wife. And the fate of the next generation lies to all the responsible and loving husbands / fathers with supportive and submissive wives and mothers today. That's where the fate of the next generation lies. Okay? Who is the happiest human being in the picture? Would you know?
The wife.
The wife, syempre, di ba? Oh, makikipag-agawan pa sa dolphin. So whenever you take pictures, Brother Pal, the smile of Mary Grace should be like that. Okay?
Okay.
It will reflect how happy she is in your married life. Okay,
Yes.
Brother Pal?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd like to thank you both for listening, for your participation in the session. Remember that we are just managers on earth. We were born naked. We don't own anything. We hold nothing when we were born. We are just managers. So everything that comes into our lives, just like our wife, our children, we need to manage them well. Okay? So please tell each other now, my darling or my sweetheart, whatever you call each other, please tell each other now. We are just managers. Pal and Mary Grace, please say it.
Hello. We are just managers.
I vow to manage you very well.
I vow to manage you very well.
Brother Pal, please say it also. I vow to manage our marriage and family very well.
Yes, I managed.
Okay.
I will manage. Yeah.
Okay. Let us manage well this institution together for the sake of our
Uh,
children. Mary Grace.
Let us manage well this institution together for the sake of our children and their children's children.
Yay! Congratulations. Congratulations. Remember, we are just managers. We will leave this earth also holding nothing. Okay? When we leave this earth, we will leave this earth holding nothing. Okay? So like and follow us, Papa Angelo, the Life Mentor, and BCIDP Exclusive School for Couples. So any final questions? Violent reactions? Let us always stand for truth. Let's do what is true. Okay? So we will always be guided. And thank you, my sincere prayers for the success of your marriage.
Thank you so much po.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
Yes. Did you look for me there in the picture? Guess where am I?
John Lloyd po.
Nalito ka, Mary Grace? Nalito ka?
Look
Oo.
alike you, John Lloyd Cruz.
Oo nga, ang daming nalilito dyan eh. Oh, ito. Yan, hindi ka na malilito dyan, ha? Oh, nagkasama na. Kambal daw yan. Okay. So, time check. It's 4:47. I hope you had a great time listening to my boring lecture. I hope it's not boring, Brother Pal.
Yes, Fred and Luke.
No, it's
Yeah.
because it was very useful.
Yes, thank you, Brother Pal. How about you, Mary Grace? What's your feedback to this session?
Learned a lot po. And it's interesting to learn about marriage life.
You now feel confident facing married life, huh? Yeah.
Thank you po.
With that sufficient knowledge, I'm praying for the success of your marriage. Thank you very much and have a great day to both of you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, bye-bye.
Nice. Bye.
Bye, Mary Grace. Bye, Brother Paul.